Welcome to Arca's Neet Biology, and today let us do certain examples of pedigree for easy understanding. Now if you see the first pedigree, let us check. First thing is whether to check that as the dominant or recessive. So by looking at the pedigree, we have to check is each generation is affected. But here if you see the first generation where it is that the parents are normal but the offsprings are affected. So if there is skipping of generation, then simply we can say it as the recessive disease. And the next thing is we have to identify whether that is the dominant, that is the X-linked, or it is the autosomal. Okay, now if that is X-linked recessive, male are more affected than that of female. Okay, for the female to be affected, either of the parent, that is the mother should be a carrier or affected and father should be affected. But that is not satisfied here. So it is not X-linked recessive, then automatically it is autosomal recessive. So you have seen how easy it is after interpretation of the or studying of the inheritance rules. Okay, now going to the next pedigree. Here you observe all the three generations. Here all the three generations are affected. Then it is not a recessive disease. Then we have to suspect this as the dominant disease. So by this it is clear that it is the dominant disease. And the next is we have to identify whether that is the X-linked or autosomal. Now here if you see if that is X-linked autosomal, it should be affected, it should be seen in both son as well as the daughter. If suppose it is the X-linked dominant disease, if mother is affected, then all the sons should be affected. But here that rule is not satisfied for X-linked, then automatically this is autosomal dominant. Now, what are the rules for autosomal dominant means there should be no skipping of generation firstly and equal frequency, both male and females are affected. So, when one parent is affected, at least 50% of the offsprings will be affected. So, both the rules are being satisfied, then we confirm that it has the autosomal disease. And coming to the next pedigree, here you can see that the father is affected in one generation, and after that again in one generation they are none affected, and again here the parents are normal and again the offsprings are affected. So here if suppose if the firstly what we identify is here the male are only affected. If that is the Y linked, there should be no skipping of generations. All the generations should be affected. So it is not a Y linked disease. Then we have to check whether this is the recessive disease, that is confirmed. There is skipping of generation. So it is the recessive disease. Now the next thing is we have to identify whether that is the autosomal disease or X-linked disease. If this is autosomal disease with equal frequency, both male and female are affected, but here only male are affected. We know that in X-linked recessive, mostly male are affected than the female. For a female to be affected, either the father should be affected and mother should be a carrier or affected. So here that is not satisfied. Okay, now what are the rules for X-linked recessive means? Mostly male are affected, that is satisfied. Affected sons are usually born to a carrier mother. She is a carrier because she has inherited the mutant one from the father. Okay, so she is having this mutant one from the father and the other X chromosome is normal. So this is being inherited by the sons. Okay, so that caused the son to be affected. So this is an example for X-linked recessive disease. And now going into the next pedigree. Here if you see again the first thing is you have to check whether there are any skipping of generation. Here there is no skipping of generation. Then simply we can write it as the dominant disease. Then what type of dominant disease it is? With equal frequency, both male and female are being affected in X-linked dominant. So that is being satisfied in this generation. Okay, here equally male and female are affected. For a daughter to be affected, then the father should be affected. For the son to be affected, the mother should be affected. Here the mother is normal, so son is also normal. Here mother is affected, so the son is affected. Okay, 50% of the son are affected. So because here one is a mutant one and the other X chromosome is normal. This boy has inherited this X chromosome, so he is normal, and this boy has been inherited this mutant one, so he is affected. And again this mutant one is inherited by this girl, so she is affected, and this normal one is inherited by her, so she is normal. So this is an example for X-linked dominant disease. So by looking at this pedigree, we can say that it has the X-linked dominant disease. Coming to the next pedigree, here this is the disease where the this is common in the male. Okay, because here we can see it, all the male are affected. Okay, and all the female are normal. If there is only male affecting, then that will be the Y-linked disease. If father is affected in the Y chromosome, then all the sons should be affected. So here all the sons are affected. Now coming to this pedigree, here father is normal, his Y chromosome is normal. So all the offsprings are having the normal Y chromosome. By looking at this pedigree, we can confirm that it has the Y-linked disease. And the next pedigree here you can see. In this pedigree, the mother is affected and here all the offsprings are also affected. Okay, and here again here the mother is normal, so all the offsprings are normal. Here the mother is affected, so all the offsprings are affected. Here also the mother is affected, all the offsprings, but that is both male and female, equally all are affected. If mother is affected, both equally male and female are affected. If mother is normal, all the offsprings are normal. Then we can say this as the mitochondrial inheritance. Okay, because we inherit only mitochondrial DNA from the mother, whereas the DNA which is present in the nucleus is 50% from the mother and other 50% from the father. But we inherit mitochondrial DNA 100% from the mother itself. So this is a pedigree of mitochondrial DNA inheritance. So if you like the video, share and subscribe. Press the bell icon to receive further notifications. This is Pravalika signing off.